I had an interview with her, and in my opinion, I feel like I bombed the interview. Like, it was so bad. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Blessing, but I go by Tamara Karibi, which means the blessing of God in Ijaw language. I am Nigerian if you're new here. My channel used to be BB Monojis, but I recently changed that due to some personal reasons. Today's video was inspired by one of the comments that I got in my my labor and delivery nurse vlog. Someone was asking how to get into labor and delivery. So I am here to share tips with you guys on how you can get into labor and delivery or how you can become an OB nurse. If this is something that you're interested in learning about, then let's get straight into this video. Some of the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is based on my own personal experience. And I know a lot of people might think it's very difficult to get into some of the specialty units like labor and delivery, pediatrics, ICU, and the rest. But I'm here to tell you guys that it is not that difficult. You just have to apply the right strategies into getting a job in these areas. So the nurses that work in this unit, they don't leave. Like, you have nurses that work in this unit for 10, 20, 15 years. Number one that I'm going to share with you guys is get into a residency program. The best way, the fastest way, the easiest way to get into this unit is through a residency program. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, what is a residency program? These are programs that some of these hospitals, they offer to new grads. They sign you into this program. You have a preceptor that you're going to be working with. This preceptor pretty much holds your hand and teach you what your role is and what you need to do as a nurse in this particular specialty. These programs are very competitive depending on the hospital that you're applying to. So I would highly suggest that if you are in your third semester of nursing school or you're about to graduate, start checking for residency programs in the hospitals in your areas. Personally, I got into labor and delivery through a residency program in my city. Tip number 2 is networking. Networking is really important in nursing and in the whole medical field in general. I would highly recommend that you start networking with your clinical instructors. Once you start going to your clinical rotations, have a good relationship with your clinical instructor because they're going to be helpful to you on the long run. Up to class on time, put in extra effort when you're making your care plans. Just be a good student in general. If you're in your third semester and you're taking your OB classes and labor and delivery is really what you want to get into, have a good relationship with those OB instructors, because some of these clinical instructors, they are nurses in the hospitals. Some of them are nurse practitioners. Some of them are nursing managers. When you have direct contact with them, you want to put in your best foot forward. That way they can put in a good word for you when you need it. I got my job in labor and delivery through my clinical instructor. I never applied to this job on Indeed, and I never applied directly to the residency program. During one of our clinical rotations, my clinical instructor was asking us, where we are at our nursing school journey, what our goals were, what units are we going to be working. And at the time, I had already gotten a job offer in oncology. I knew oncology wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I shared with her that yes, I did get a job to work at an oncology unit, but I really wanted to do labor and delivery. Lo and behold, the nursing manager for the labor and delivery unit at the hospital where I worked at was a friend of my clinical instructor. So she told me that the residency program had closed at the time we were having this conversation, but she was going to talk to the manager to see if there were room for any more candidates or if she was willing to look at my resume or schedule an interview with me. As God will have it, she came back and the residency program had truly closed, but the nursing manager wanted to interview with me to see if I was a good fit for the unit. I had an interview with her, and in my opinion, I feel like I bombed the interview. Like, it was so bad. Some of the questions they asked me, I just didn't have answers to because I have never heard of those kind of questions before. I wasn't expecting it. You know how when you prepare for an interview, you go and rehearse all the questions that you see online and what you think they're gonna ask you. That way you already have an answer. This one was completely different because this is a different unit. I have never worked in women's health before. I know nothing about women's health. I know nothing about, labor, delivery, obstetrics, or anything of the sort. So those questions took me unawares. And after the interview, guys, I was like, this is it. I just blew up the only opportunity that I got to get into this unit. I never ever thought they were going to call me back or hire me or anything. I completely gave up hope. I was like, anyways, I think I already got my oncology position, so I'm gonna just stick to it. But as God will have it, to God be the glory. The following week, I got an offer into labor and delivery, and that was how I got into this unit, and it was amazing. I am so grateful. I am so happy. I am just so happy talking about labor and delivery because it is just it is just that great. So they hired me straight up. Even though I did not apply directly through the residency program, I got the job through the grace of God and also through the connection of my clinical instructor. And because she already knew what kind of a student I was, it was easier for her to put in a good word for me. So it's very important that you guys carry yourself professionally in your nursing program or in anything that you do in general. You have to carry yourself professionally, do what you have to do at the time that you're supposed to do what you're meant to do. No, what am I saying? So guys, tip number 3 is gain work experience. A work experience that is related to the medical field is going to give you an extra boost. It's going to give you an extra edge during the hiring process. If you're able to focus on school and not work, you don't have any bills to pay, kudos to you. But a lot of students, I myself for one, had to work while I was in nursing school. It is very doable, but you just have to plan and be organized. If you have to work while you're in nursing school, I would highly recommend getting a job that is related to the medical field, that is related to healthcare. This is going to help you in the long run. Instead of working at McDonald's or Walmart or in Target or Jack in the Box, get a job in a hospital. You can work as a medical scribe, a medical assistant, a volunteer, patient transporter. There are different opportunities. You can work as a CNA, a phlebotomist, a patient care assistant. This hospital jobs is just going to put your foot through the door. That way, when you're finally applying to those specialty units that you want to work in, you're already in the hospital system. You have more edge as an employee compared to someone who is applying for the very first time with no clinical experience. Now back to my nursing students, you guys have more edge in this area if you're in your first semester or especially in your second semester. Most of those hospitals have student nurse externship or internship programs. These programs are very, very flexible. They work in line with your schedule in your nursing program. So instead of submitting a resume and saying, oh, I worked at, Target for 2.5 years, they would rather take someone who have worked in the hospital as a patient transporter for 6 months. They really prefer that you have some type of clinical background or some type of clinical experience. So even as a nursing student, you have more edge as a student nurse intern. If you're a brand new nurse that just graduated or you're preparing for your NCLEX, school is over, you don't have time to go back into the student nurse internship program, definitely look at the residency programs that I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video. Tip number 4 is going to career fairs or nursing events. This is technically tied into networking, but this is a good chance for you to meet the hiring team, the hiring managers directly. Doing your research on the hospital that you want to work at, scroll all the way down. You usually find it in the lower section of their career page where they talk about career events, upcoming dates, and things like that. If you have the time, go for these career events, go for these career fairs, because in these career fairs you will get the chance to meet the hiring manager and have the opportunity to speak one-on-one with them, what their requirements are, things like that. Your name written down on the list. Someone is going to contact you to let you know if there are any updates. Just check on the website, you would get more information. Alrighty guys, my camera died, so I'm currently filming on my phone. Hopefully it's clear enough. Tip number 5, guys, is apply early and get your resume and your cover letter structured quickly. Do not wait until you are actually applying for these jobs before you start working on your resume. I attended an accelerated program, and my program was kind enough to take us through a resume workshop, a career workshop, where we had to like fix our resumes before we graduated. So you want to fix up your resume. Whatever experience that you have on your resume counts to whoever is reviewing that resume. So it is very important that you put in effort, have time to really fine-tune your resume, get a cover letter. Not everybody who applies for a job, submits a cover letter. So if you take out time to create one for yourself, that would also, make you stand out. Also, a website online that you can use to fine-tune your resume if you don't know what kind of template to use, or if you're not sure how you can, really convert your resume to making it look more professional. There are free websites online. You don't have to pay any money to get this done. Get ready for interview. You really want to show up prepared. You want to show them that yes, you are qualified enough for this job. And even if you don't have the qualification that the job is asking for, you are willing and open to learning and getting your experience. What you want might not really be what you think you want. Once you get a job in any area, just start, get your experience, and with that experience you can start applying to the specialty units that you really want to work at. A bonus tip is also applying for PRN positions, per diem or part-time. Sometimes you might not get the full-time position in these units, but they have PRNs available, they have part-times available. They take some of these opportunities and don't put yourself in a box. So I hope these tips help some of you guys. I became a labor and delivery nurse as a new grad with no experience, with no type of experience, through recommendation from my clinical instructor, and I got into the residency program. That's how I became an L&D nurse. Really, everything is in the hands of God. Whatever it is you desire, pray, put it in his hands, and just let him do the work. While God is working for you, I want you to also do your own part. The Bible says the works of our hands is going to bless. You have to have something. You have to have something that God will work on to give you what you desire. So while you're at it, if labor and delivery is truly what you want to get into, my friends, I tell you, it is very, very possible, and it is easy. You just have to do the right things in the right way and at the right time. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see videos like this, or you want more nursing content from me, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching the video to the end. Bye guys.